crafty friends, it's Courtney Brickner, the CB behind the Crafty Brick. Welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new here, and if you've been here for a while, welcome back. This is episode 6 of my series that I've been doing on prepping for my very first craft fair. So I did my very first one. It happened last weekend. Maybe you saw the end of the booth. If you haven't seen any of the series and you're curious about a craft market or craft fair, tune in to those because I have a lot of information that I shared over the last 6 weeks. And today I just want to give you a recap of how everything went, what I learned, what I would do again, what I would not do again or do differently, and just share all of that with you. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching this whole series, sharing tips and tricks for me to take with me to the fair, and just for your support. And for those of you that came down, I had people that were part of the crafty crew and came to see me at my booth, and I appreciate you so much. So have to start the video first by just saying thank you to all of you. All right, so I know you want to know how I did. I went into this thing with a completely open mind. My first goal was to make a sale, and my second one was to learn a lot and to have a really nice inviting booth. And then, you know, sometimes you've got that goal in the back of your head. I wanted to make 40 sales. I didn't tell anybody that. That was just my personal goal deep in the back of my head, that I really wanted to make 40 sales. Okay, I did make a sale. I did do that. And I'm telling you, when I did it, I did a happy dance. I was like, oh yeah, I made my first sale. I was so excited. So the fact that I made one sale, that just changed my whole mentality. I was just so ready to keep going after that. 2 days prior to the fair, someone had sent me a video on how to get so many people in your booth and attract all of these people to your booth. And I'm telling you, that video freaked me out. There were people just coming and going. It was so busy. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do if my booth is like that? I don't know if I can handle that type of volume. I was so scared. I was like, Scott, what am I going to do? I'm terrified of this whole thing now. What have I gotten myself into? And I was really nervous. So when I get there, it's not too crazy. It's pretty mellow. People are coming by. There's a steady flow of people. It was perfect. It opened at 10. I made my first sale at 10:20. You can tell me nothing the rest of the day. I was so excited, so happy. I was like, okay, we're good. As the day went on, I did make more sales, but I was speaking with vendors at the event the whole time. And the feedback I was getting from them was that this was the worst fair that they had done, and that the foot traffic was much less than they were used to at all, like the worst. So for me, I was like, oh, I have nothing to compare it to. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty good because I made a sale. So I was like, I don't know why you guys are upset. Oh, my machine's still on. It's telling me to turn it off. So I think it's just the mentality that I went into it with. I was just extremely open-minded. So the fact that the foot traffic wasn't, I guess, what it was compared to what other people were used to, wasn't a big deal for me. That very first day, I ended up almost making the fee that I had made or paid to get into the fair. I had almost made all of that back. So I was like, okay, day 2, I should definitely make that back. And I did, and then some. So when I went home the very first night, I swear, I went to bed and I just prayed. And I was like, God, thank you so much for this opportunity today. Thank you for the people that you've put in my life, my booth mates beside me. They were giving me so much information. And then when I was walking around and just meeting other people, so much information from them as well on things that I could do to improve, or just tips on other fairs that were in the area that they thought might be better, or just so much information. So that is definitely one thing. If you were going to be doing a fair, talk with people that have done it before, that are there, and their experiences, and get information from them, and look at other people's booths and see how they set them up, and things like that. But let me show you. You guys have seen so you saw me prepare every single thing for this booth of mine. So let's go look at the booth, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I thought were definitely really good to have, and some things that I was lacking and needed to make some changes to. So let's go look at that.
All right, here's the full booth effect. I love how it turned out. I think it's super inviting. We've got the crates that I did from Michael's here with the spin to win and my wheel, which was a huge hit. And then when they spun the wheel, these bracelets were sitting right in the back of the crate that they could choose from. And just like I hoped, people spent a lot of time choosing their color and word that they really wanted. And then we move on to the t-shirts and sweatshirts. They were on a rack. I ended up hanging some of them above from the pop-up tent later on. I saw some other vendors doing that, and that actually looked really nice. And then we've got the tote bags that everyone gets hanging in the back, and then the jewelry display. And I did choose the mirror and put the Be Who You See on the mirror so people could try on the necklaces and hats and see what they look like. And then we had my checkout stand, which I only used once, and the hats were on the table on the other side. I wish I was thinking more clearly the day of and taking better videos, but I wasn't. I'm so sorry. So I've got some pictures. Here's how everything turned out. Since I wasn't selling the actual items that day, I was only doing custom orders. I did want everyone to have a free tote bag so they didn't walk away empty-handed, so everyone got that. I had the QR code in multiple locations around the booth because I was hoping that people could just use their phone because I thought that would be easier since usually when you make purchases on your phone, your address is already auto-populated, so I wouldn't have to use my iPad and then enter everyone's address, which I thought would take longer. So the QR code worked great here. I didn't have anyone complaining about it. Everyone said it was fine using their phones, but I feel like it might be something that I have to think about in the future. If I've got a lot of people, is that going to be the best way to take orders?
All right, so I'm obsessed with my booth. I love it so much. I think it turned out so cute. It is just what I had in mind. If you remember, let's go back to the mock-up that I made in with ChatGPT to come up with a fair or with a booth concept. So here's what the booth concept was. And then that's what I came up with. I think it's so me. It was perfect. I had a good starting point and then turned it into what is really the crafty brick. After the first day, my booth neighbor mentioned that she had seen some people walking by my booth while I was talking with a customer, and they're looking at the hat display. So you see the hats were like on the side, like as you're walking by, you might see them right there. And the words are all written backwards. So they were looking at it and kind of struggling, trying to figure out what the word said. And she asked, do you have anything that tells kind of about your product so they can know why the words are written backwards? And I was like, no, I don't. And I thought, okay, for the next market I do, I'm definitely going to add that. But then I got home that night and I'm like, no, I'm gonna add it tonight. So lo and behold, I went ahead and made a sign. I went to Michael's that night. Now, I was exhausted after this day, but I wanted my booth to be better or as good as it could be, you know? So I didn't want to lose out on customers that didn't understand and that didn't have a chance to talk to me while they're walking by. So I went to Michael's, picked up a frame, and then used some adhesive vinyl, which I hate, by the way, especially on a big thing. And some of the words have already come off. They were touching up against other stuff when I was packing up, and they came off. But what I noticed anyway was that when I put this together or when I cut it, I had cut off the edge, so I had to recut that part. And when I taped it on, I measured the top, so it was perfect. But I didn't measure the bottom, so it was all lined up because I thought since the top was lined up, it was good. But if you saw me make this, you saw I had to piece that part together. I didn't piece it together obviously straight. So this is not straight. The bottom is not even in the middle. So I'm going to redo that part anyway. I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to redo that part because I do not like crooked things. It was fine for that day. It actually did serve its purpose that day. I doubled sales, actually more than doubled sales on the second day. So I don't know if that was the reason that I did, but I don't know. I tend to think that it actually made a difference. So it was worth it. I'm gonna fix it so that for the next one I will have something that people can see. It was right at the front of the booth, so I think that was a very good positioning. And let me see what else. I've already signed up for 3 more events this fall, October and November. I think I'm going to try and do another one in September because it was actually really fun. Some of the people there actually do it every weekend or like almost every other weekend, sometimes even during the week. The way my schedule is set up with Kaya still not driving yet, she has her permit, but she's not driving. I drive way too much and do the momming thing. I just don't have any more time in my schedule to do that, but I definitely could see doing it more frequently, uh, as I have a little more flexibility. But I think once a month is a good start. I loved it. So if you have been thinking about doing one, I highly recommend it. And I don't know, like I said, just talk with other vendors, talk with other creatives that are online, get some advice from them. I think that would be helpful as well. And I say just go for it. Like I'm telling you, back in May, I said I was going to try something new and step out of my comfort zone. This is definitely out of my comfort zone. I'm good with making stuff, but going and being at a booth all day and speaking with people all day and trying to get them to buy my products, that's a little bit out of my comfort zone. Just I don't know. I talk to y'all, but it's online. I'm not really in person. I'm not good with talking with people, but I was nervous. Okay, let's just say I was nervous, but it all worked out. I'm telling you, that wheel, when people came up and spun that wheel, it was great. They were walking by my booth, and every single person that walked by, I was just like, "Hey, you want to come by and spin the wheel and win a free bracelet?" And they were like, "Sure, why not? Like, why would I not?" I'm like, "Obviously, why would you not? You look like a winner. Come spin the wheel, get a bracelet." And if they didn't um get on the bracelet spot, I was just giving them because initially I thought there were going to be a lot more people and I only had 400 bracelets. So I was like, I need to do the wheel because everybody can't win. I don't have enough to give to everyone. So I need to be selective on how many I give out. But on that second day, actually, towards the end of the first day, and then on the second day, I was like, oh, I got plenty of bracelets. Everybody can just have a bracelet. So even if they didn't get it, I was like, you know what? You were so close to bracelet. Let me just get you one. While I got them a bracelet, I explained why the words are backwards, explained about mirrored mindset. They came into my booth. I'm telling you, about 90% of the people that stopped came into my booth. That's huge. And if they didn't purchase something, they scanned my QR code, they got a business card. So I think if you can have something to give away, you should definitely think. Even just some little little bands, those little silicone bracelets, those are not expensive. Those would be a nice thing. Maybe little I don't know, some trinket that goes along with what you have. I was able to tie it into mirrored mindset by doing the laser engraving as well as the words written backwards. So that worked out. But I don't know. There's got to be some other things that go with what you are doing, or even if they're not really going with what you're doing, I think just handing out like little string bracelets, little braided bracelets, or something like that. I think that would be a great idea to get people into your booth because who doesn't want something free and who doesn't want to spin a wheel? That's what people are telling me. So I think that was my number one thing that got people into my booth. And I mean, really, you want people to just come into your booth and check your stuff out. So I think that worked. So all in all, I think it was a great experience. And if that one wasn't a good market, then it's only up from here, right? I mean, I did a good job at that one. So if I attend one that has a lot of people and has people that are looking for gifts, I I think I could excel there. So I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna keep on trying new things. Okay. That's what we're doing this year. We're just gonna conquer our fears and try new things. We're not gonna let our fears hold us back. Okay. What does this one say? Today, today I'm wearing strong. Actually, the first day that I went, I wore courageous because I felt like I was being courageous, trying something new. The second day I went, I wore strong because I was feeling strong. I was feeling confident. I should have worn confident because I was feeling very confident after that first day, but I went with strong. You find out what your word is and get you a mirror mindset necklace. And just do the things that you've been wanting to do. Okay. Don't hold yourself back. Don't let your mind hold you back from things that you might want to try. You know? That's my message. That's my takeaway from this whole thing. Just try new things because you might like them. I didn't know if I would. That's why I hadn't signed up for any more in the future, but I did this one and it was great. So you will see me doing more craft fairs in the future. Once again, thank you so much for joining me for this series. I appreciate you so, so much, like more than you know. Like watching these videos, liking, commenting, sharing, all that good stuff. I appreciate it. The fact that you do that. And I've got more stuff coming this year that I'll be sharing shortly. But if you haven't seen the whole series, go back and watch all of them. This is episode 6 or 7, kind of. I did a live last week. I don't know if that one counts, but I did show you. Anyway, if you liked this series, please, please don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so that you don't miss anything crafty, because I'm trying to be here on a regular basis sharing crafty content with you. I'll be back very soon. And until then, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.